Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey!
We got a new episode today. We are going to be doing a books to movie adaptations. We did the video games to movie adaptation. That was the first
Why I
one?
wore my Blockbuster shirt today.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Be kind, rewind.
Oh yeah.
How many of you people remember that?
Anyways.
So we did the video games and movies. Like, that was the second episode that we did. Technically, no, that was the second, because the first one was Uncharted.
Yeah, it was Uncharted or Uncharted.
Yeah, so...
And it was definitely not Uncharted.
So we decided that we wanted to do books to movies because these are a little bit more hit and miss. So we
Way
got...
more miss.
most of them are miss. But we got a little heated during our conversations about a couple of them, so we thought, you know what, this would be a great episode, so here we are. First things first, though, we're going to do some announcements. The next episode... No, this will be going after the episode. Tuesday, we will have had an episode with TikToker Master Allen. We are going to be going over all of the Spelljammer information.
Spelljammer!
Damn it. We're going to be going over all of that stuff for the new characters, new playable characters, all the new different things you can do. You can build your own spaceship. So we'll be going...
I can build a spaceship?
You can build a spaceship. It's a pirate ship, but it's a spaceship.
I could be a space pirate. I could be Cyclops' dad.
You could be a vampire that's a pirate, and they're called vampirates. It's in the book. So we'll be going over that. I think I already have my notes up there.
Sounds like, oh, I'm gonna suck your blood.
Blood, cure.
So,
We're going to be going over that with Master Allen. And then this will be airing after that. So I got a bunch of other stuff that's going to be coming up. Our one shot should be the next one after that. I've already drawn the characters and everything. So it's going to be a super fun one because it's actually like a really well-rounded group first. Like for the first time. We've got like one of everything that you could possibly need. So we shouldn't die. Quotations shouldn't. But we're going to have our buddy Alex, who is in the Don't Split the Party, run that one so that all of us can play and get 2 more people to play with us for that. But past that, then it's October, and that means spoopy, and that means Halloween, and that means scary video games. So we'll be playing a bunch of that. But past that, let's get into the episode.
nice.
Yeah. So, first one that I have on my list here, there's too many to actually name, so I just put him in a category, which is the Stephen King films. So you've got like The Shining, Pet Sematary, Cujo, It,
Langoliers, Christine. Then you got like the TV movie ones, The Shining. It is actually technically originally was a straight to movie
it's like a part 1, part 2. Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are actually pretty good.
I like Stephen King movies compared to his books. I hate Stephen King books.
I've never actually read his books because the first time I was ever told about these books, they were like, have you ever read It? And I was like, no, I've never read It. And they were like, you should totally read It because it's a completely different ending in that book than it is in the movies. Y'all want to know? Google it.
So the only problem I have with Stephen King books, why I don't like them, he goes in detail. I mean, great gobs
Worse
of
than
goo shit
Sin
detail.
City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he would go to, like, let's say he was going to talk about this table. He would talk about how this table has, the grain goes this way, and then the grain goes this way, and there's a small knot here. 47 pages later, he'll tell you it's a table. And his books are already, like, 8,000 pages long. So, like, every book's that way. And, like, don't get me wrong, they're good books. It's just, I don't need that much detail. You'd be like, it's a wood table. I'm like, gotcha.
48 pages, like, oh, that's right, we're talking about a table.
Yeah,
Damn.
it just is, that's his problem with my books, or with the books he has, is ungodly amount of detail. So when it comes to a movie, they cut so much out, I'm like, right, I can handle this.
Yeah, this I can do.
Like, Christine's one of those that just, I think Christine, there's a part where it goes into, like, the stitching of the leather seat, and he's going, like, how, like, you can see a misstitched, and you can see, like, oh, it's just, I'm like, oh my god.
That's a little too detailed,
Yeah.
Stephen King.
I mean,
together.
I guess if you're on cocaine and writing books, you
That's
can't really
true.
help it.
You're just so focused on, oh my god, this seat, you guys, you don't even know. The stitching of it.
Secret of the universe.
Yeah. But The Stand's been my favorite. I love that book. I love both miniseries. The Gary Sinise one was really good, and the new one, it wasn't as good, but it was really good.
I've only ever seen it. I've seen, of course, The Shining. I've seen Cujo when I was a kid. That messed me up. But it's like, oh, my puppy. But
your dad's dog is like a little Cujo. Like
she's a
itty-bitty tiny
torpedo. But Stephen King's, I love the films, so like I wouldn't be a very big fan of the books, unfortunately, because I'm not very big on like super detailed books. Like R.A. Salvatore is almost too much for me.
He can be in moments.
Yes,
But
like all the second books that I've ever read of his, like the Drizzt ones, where he goes into full detail on how the caves look in the Underdark, and I'm like, I don't care. Get to Guinevere. So
What was that?
get to Guinevere.
Yeah, so I mean that's it. Pet Cemetery is a really good one too. That little kid cutting that old man's Achilles. I'll never forget that. What else? I mean, he's also got
So many books.
fucking Annie Dufresne. Why can't I think of it? Shawshank Redemption is based on a Stephen King short story.
Oh yeah, I forgot
So
about that.
his short stories, like there's like the Monkey's Paw or whatever. I think it's a book of short stories by Stephen King.
Yep.
Very solid, because they're really short, they're not as detailed, and they're real quick. Very good
I
stories.
think I read The Monkey's Paw in like elementary. What the is wrong with you?
I mean, it's not as bad as that horror book. Like, I give up. I just quit. It's another book to movie that they just made the movie. Short stories to tell in the dark or whatever it is.
Short stories to tell in the dark.
I gotta find it now.
Do, do, do.
So,
Well-
anyways, we'll move on. I'll keep looking for it.
Well, speaking of somebody that makes a lot of books, it's unfortunately never made as far as I know, never made a show or movie yet. But I'm very surprised. Tom Clancy.
No, Tom Clancy has made a whole bunch of movies.
Movies, which
Some
ones?
of All Fears and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 'cause
Oh,
that would be another good one to
Yes,
talk about.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
That's the name of it.
That's the name of the book. So you had all those in like elementary school. They finally made a real movie. Like those were real fun, but that was like same thing. Like it's just quick short stories.
I mean, as
But
far
that-
as
That one's a good one, though.
Stephen King, as far as I know, is like the movies are great. If I never read the books, like I still like the movies. So I mean, there's something
Except
to
for
say.
Thinner.
There's something to be said about the movies, though, like if they can stand the test of time. Because like The Shining came out in 1977, the movie was in 80, and then you had all like the Pet Cemetery, Cujo, and all that were like in the late 70s or 80s. So I mean, like they're still popular today. They redid it, and it's bigger than ever. So kudos to Stephen King's Cujo to keep Stephen King's.
The Skidsguard did great in it. I know that's not how you say his last name, but that's how I call him, Skidsguards,
Skizgard.
because it just makes me think of Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse. So, of course, this next one is going to be a pretty big one on the list. It's made its own theme park.
Controversial
It's-
now.
Well, to an
Boy, no,
extent.
it's not.
Harry Potter series. So the first book was written in 1997.
Philosopher's Stone / Sorcerer's Stone.
2001 is when the movie came out. I stopped reading past the Goblet of Fire.
Well, you done fucked up.
Clearly, I remember being in high school whenever the the Half-Blood Prince came out, part 1. It was either part 1 or part 2 that came out in high school, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, you've got to read it!" It's like, I don't want to do that. I'm in Twilight, which we'll get to.
Yeah, which is like
sorry.
the worst version of a Harry Potter fan base, because they were just teenage girls feeling it, and it should have never been felt that hard. But anyways, let's go back to Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter.
I like the original Dumbledore, but I mean, unfortunately,
Yeah, who
you know,
doesn't?
yeah.
I mean, the new one was cool too. I mean, he's a great actor.
Oh yeah, he's
but,
a great actor, but I liked the
He's not.
quietness of the first Dumbledore.
Harry
Potter.
I really like the Harry Potter. And then like the movies, I enjoyed a whole lot too, because he's like, "Yo, wizard Harry, I'm a what?"
What?
No, I really like them a lot. And like, what sucks is like, it's the same thing I hate with like any trilogy, like not a trilogy, but in like series of books. We're going to talk about one here soon that I really hate. But they start off really small. Like, I really do feel like the first 2 movies could have been one book or one movie, but everything from there on could have been 2 movies each, if not more, because of how good and detailed those books get. Like even like Goblet of Fire, they cut out so much of that book.
I do remember that.
And it was such a good movie still, but I mean they cut an insane amount out of the book. And then like as you get to Half Blood Prince and then Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, like shit, people die. Like it's not like
People die.
it's
y'all.
not like so and so got killed by Voldemort 25 years ago. It's like no, that bitch just died.
Oh shit, y'all, he just died.
Oh yeah, that guy fell on fire and died. Yeah, Miss.
No.
Like right off the bat, like he's like, oh god.
It's been a decade. No spoilers here.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
It's been a decade.
I mean,
It's Game Room. Spoiler owl.
you
Spoiled
just
again.
have an owl fly. Ooh, it just says spoiler behind it.
Spoiler owl.
But yeah, so I mean, really good series. The books are way better than the movies, but the movies did a very good job. It just.
I think that's what ruined me on the books and the movies was the fact that I read the first 3 books before I watched a movie, and well, for me, like I think I got to Prisoners of Azkaban.
That's third book.
Yeah, so like I got to that, and then I was like, you know what, they made a movie, so I'll watch the movie. And I was like, that's not what I remember reading in the first book, so I just kind of like fell off of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
See,
Ron Weasley.
I was
Ron Weasley.
I was raised in a very strict Christian family. I got my hands on the first book, read the whole thing. My mom found out, and I never got to read it again.
She beat you with a wooden stick.
Or not
We get to go
metal
into
coating
that in
her.
one of my other ones. Here.
It's worse.
I don't get that though, because like my
Dumbledore
niece,
was gay.
I don't give a crap. Like
It was magic.
my niece's mother.
Oh, don't question her though, because she loved Lord of the Rings.
I
Yeah,
mean, he
I
kind of
mean-
did base some of the characters on like gods and angels and stuff. So
My mom's is a very big Christian woman, but she absolutely loves Game of Thrones
and Zelda.
and Zelda. You can call her and she'll tell you how to beat it to this day. But like my ex-sister-in-law was a raised Catholic, absolutely no bad things. Like
I mean, she was Catholic.
she was Catholic, but she was okay with Harry Potter. So she was like my niece was allowed to do Harry Potter stuff. So Harry Potter, of course, was 1997 to 2007. Movies were 2001 to 2011. Next
but you
one,
also forgot
what?
the Fantastic Beasts series that's happening right now. There's still like 2 more movies that's supposed
Where
to come out.
Dumbledore looks like he is way too young and sexy looking
So
than
the,
what he
the
should be.
problem I have with that is all the books talk about how all the wizards and stuff are like disheveled, their hair are messed up, and like here's Dumbledore looking all nice, prim and proper
Yeah.
with a suit and shit on, Jude Law and shit.
If it's Jude Law, then it has to look sexy.
Yeah, but you got the guy from Halls of Fury, who's my favorite. Like best part of the whole movie still. He cracks me up. David Fogel or John Fogel? What's his name? I think it's
John?
David Fogel. Dan Fogler.
That's,
He cracks my shit up.
I mean, he was really good in that movie. It was the guy that he wanted to own
Yeah,
a
he's the
pastry
baker.
shop. Yeah.
Baker, the bakery.
Yeah, the bakery. So, but he's the one that kind of gets like dragged around.
He's in
being
Balls of
muffled.
Fury. Fanboys.
So, Harry Potter, what would you say? Or yeah?
Both books and movies. Great.
Okay.
Well, the first, I got to read the first book, but it was good. I liked it.
Read the rest. It's hard to read the rest of them now. The first 3 books are very, very kid,
Yeah.
like friendly books, and then as from there on, they get a little bit more adult each book. Like, best thing I would recommend anybody do
Did
is,
you
like,
put your name in the pot in the cup, Potter?
is to get like once your kid gets to a certain age, like when Harry Potter goes to school, like have them read a book a year. So it's like they're growing up with Harry Potter each year. He goes
well,
to school.
that's kind of what she did when
Yeah.
she released them. So
So it works out really well that way. But I like the books and everything. So
Well, we did thumbs up on this one. Next on the list is going to be this for both, especially the movies. Twilight. Look.
of all people,
No, look. So when I was a huge fan of vampire books whenever I was a kid because there was an artist, there was an author named Amelia Atwater Rose, and she made great
That's even a
vampire
terrible
books.
name.
No, she made fantastic books. She started at age 14, and she wrote 6 books, and they were all really good. And then when she started getting older, she started a whole new series, and they were even really good. I just recently reread them all, so I was really into that. I did my 8th grade book report on Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I kept that on a floppy disk and used it throughout my entirety of high school.
Yeah, a small floppy though. I'm sure not the full floppy.
No, the 3.5. Yeah, remember that one, kids. So,
They won't.
I remember full floppy disk. Playing Oregon Trail on it in first
baseball
grade.
game. I had. I do that though, and it's broken. So for Twilight, those came out in 2005. So I was in my junior year, if
Best
not
Buy days.
senior, right? But like, I remember that when I've read it and I was like, oh, this is a new take. They sparkle, so let's just see how this goes. And everybody was like, oh my god, you're reading another vampire book. That's stupid. And then they made the movie in 2008, and that's
then all
when
the girls were in the theaters and it flooded.
all the little girls were like, oh my god, he's so sexy. It's like, yeah, read the book now. The third book was probably the best in the series out of 4, but it's still like, the movies is what ruined it for me, because now every time if I want to go and reread those just for funsies, I see the faces of the people in the movie, and it's awful.
Because it's awful.
They are.
See, all I ever remember Twilight for now is the bad lip reading. That's my favorite thing. That's the best thing that came from it.
Fish.
Yeah.
No, like the books were not that bad before the movies came out, but once the movies came out, like it got all muddled. But the books are okay. They're angsty teenagers that
Yeah.
werewolves and
Basically, if you want to write books for 16-year-old girls, just be like, oh, he loves me. I love him, but I love him too. Oh no. Turn me into a vampire and have a baby.
what shall I
Love
do?
triangles, man.
Yeah.
The best thing about that was whenever they were like doing the trailers for it, and like Dakota Fanning was the one who was like, Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning. I'm a werewolf. Yeah, I know you're a werewolf.
Dakota Fanning.
I will say, like, then I think it was in the second movie where, like,
Got it, babe.
you're got it, babe. The people that, like, are, I can't remember, the council where Dakota Fanning was in, like, they came into play. And then in the third movie, it was like, okay, this is getting kind of cool. Then the fourth movie came out, and that was a whole what the f- moment the entire time. Like, reading it, you were like, you didn't grasp exactly how bad it was until they put it into movie form, and you're watching it like, oh, that did happen. That did in fact happen. He smelled her inside of her as a baby and was like, oh my god, there's something really good that smells in you. That's the only reason I loved you, is because the baby inside of you is who I'm imprinting on. Now I'm going to fall in love with it as an infant.
What?
What? The whole time.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch anything but the first movie and never read the book, so what?
Oh, you really don't? Oh boy. Okay, so
What?
that is Twilight in a nutshell.
Don't.
If you read her books nowadays and actually like think about some of the things, like I have a friend who is reading The Host, and she's going through it and being like, what the what is this? Oh my god. And it's like, yeah, it's weird.
Is she gonna have an alien that's gonna fall in love with the baby too? And
So in The Host, which is another movie to or book to movie, so I guess we'll go ahead and go for that one too. 29 years old whenever she wrote Twilight. 35 when she wrote The Host. What is wrong with you? Anywho, moving on to the next book.
another set of shitty movies.
Well, just by the way.
Ah.
By the way, yes, Twilight. Sorry.
Yes, Twilight, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half
That's one
book.
sparkly thumb down.
Eclipse, book. Movie, the best one out of them all. But overall, thumbs down, sorry. But yes. So the next one on the list is Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Oh, I skipped a whole section. Sorry, I was talking about the next set of books.
I was about to say. It's like, why?
Ah,
I'm still not a big fan of these books.
Okay,
I'm
well,
a big fan
so-
of The Hobbit.
my book's there.
I will give it to you. He was an old guy. They wrote differently back then, and it was very slow. The battles took a long time to describe.
What was it? That is just literally like Lord of the Rings books. It's walking. I mean, I hate to
just
pull the Clerks
walking.
3. It's 3 movies, 3 books of just 2 hobbits f***ing walking. I really hate to take it, but
I mean, The Hobbit was dwarves.
there was things like what was nice about that. It went from event to event to event. It wasn't like, yeah, but now they're traveling. They're going through the Mirkwood, and there's what they're going through Mirkwood. Here's spiders.
Ah!
You know,
Well-
like, it was things that happened.
I'd say the first one.
I think the first one's the best out of the 3
Yeah.
books.
One thing that they cut out of the actual Lord of the Rings was, of course, when they ran into the
Even the
ring wraiths and
extended?
stuff. In the
Oh,
beginning, and
my God.
that was a really cool section that was actually kind of big in the books.
Who's the other Hobbit they cut out too?
There was another
Tom.
Hobbit.
Tom Bombadil?
Yeah, he wasn't in the movies at all, and I was such a shame.
Yeah.
There was a fifth Hobbit.
Well,
There's a whole lot of hobbits. It's called the Shire. I don't know if you know this or not. A lot of them live there.
I know, but like, okay, well, you know what? You got me.
no, the books.
Never mind.
There's a lot in the books. I do feel like it got into like the first one, The Hobbit, was good for story building, world building, but also you got lots of destinations.
It was quick.
Yeah.
There was no slow parts. It was boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the Two Towers is kind of, but then the Return of the King was like very battle oriented. It was always about the battles and stuff. It was kind of the climax, but still.
You know what's awesome about the books though? There's not 16 different damn endings to it.
Which one do you want to do today? That one. But I still like my favorite ending is the one where you've got like Frodo that gets up out of bed and it has,
The one where it looks like he's gonna have the Sam and
it
Frodo
has
suck
Careless Whisper on it. And it's like, Gandalf, my friends.
No, there's a few things from those movies I love. Like drunk Bilbo. My 111th birthday.
Oh God.
I do that on every single one of my birthdays, regardless if it's my 111th birthday or not. I'm just like, 111th birthday. And then I disappear.
And then I disappear forever until the next year.
The potatoes, boil and smash and put them in a stew.
I will say I hated Gollum in general, like just because he's an annoying character, but
Andy Serkis
Andy
did an amazing
Serkis,
job.
yes, I
It's
really
Andy
liked-
Serkis, though.
That was
So
my
you
first
can't-
introduction to him, though.
You can't say anything bad about Andy Serkis, so.
Yeah, even as Ulysses S. Claw, he was great.
So, I've never read the books, unfortunately. They're right here. We have them, never read them. But for those of you who have read that, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Hobbit, thumbs up. Parts of Lord of the Rings, thumbs up, but mediocre at the best.
Personally, I want to say thumbs up for everyone except sideways, thumb for Two Towers. It was kind of a slower book, but
They did do a good job with the movies. The movies are
Yeah.
still parts slow, but
Movies.
I think overall is probably one of the best book to movies adaptations. One of the best.
I
Because
love The
think,
Hobbit.
Because I think you're right in a way. It did enhance what the
Yeah.
books had. It's one of the few times where it got a little better.
The
Yeah,
Hobbit
'cause
1 and 2 was good.
they could have,
3.
like the scenes where it's them talking about just them walking in the books. In the movies, they just had them walking, like,
And talking.
it
about
wasn't
something else.
boring.
Yeah, they were doing something else.
Right. Now, the one thing I do have that I don't like is, like, the Ents weren't really talked about nearly enough in the movies
Yeah.
as they were in the books. And they kind of just all died. Like, that's kind of another thing. They just kind of, like, skim over. They're like, yeah, here's the fighting trees, guys. They all died. They're dead now.
Every single one of them. What? No?
Yeah, you mean they just go like, nope, 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 nope. Just keep going. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. The books are good. I won't ever read them again just because it's too much work.
It's heavy.
Hobbit 1 and 2.
I mean, the book itself was
Hobbit's
pretty-
amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate to what the movies
I
were.
will watch The Hobbit over and over, like, all day long.
Why?
I love I don't know. I
The
just
first one was good. I think the first one's same thing as like the other movies.
I
First
Just
love
for the Elf King?
No. I actually like my favorite part, like I could skip all the way up to where the dwarves start coming into Bilbo's house. Because like right at that point is where it just starts getting fun to watch and like entertaining. And
like dwarves.
I do, I love dwarves. But like my favorite part was actually not scripted, and it's where they throw the egg into the guy's mouth. The two like sons of Oakenshield, the one actor, the one with the dark hair, was like talking to him about food, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I can catch like a full egg in my mouth." He's like, "No, you can't." It's like, "Yeah, I can." So he was like, "Throw it." And so they chucked it.
Shit, what's our names?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yep.
Feely and,
Yeah.
Feely?
Yeah.
But it's like he goes like, "No, you can't." So he's like, "Go ahead." So he throws it, and the guy like just catches it first try, and then they all go like, "Oh!" That's a legit like reaction in the movie to that scene because he actually caught the egg the first time. So
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
I like the song they sing when they clean up the
Yeah.
thing. You know, blunt the
Misty
knives and
Mountains.
forks and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The Misty Mountain song. I mean, who doesn't? Like,
That has been done so many times now, and there's some really cool versions
Michael
of it too.
McDonald.
So we got a group of friends that play board games nonstop, and we literally like for the like longest time we was playing on Wednesday nights, and we would literally play the Misty Mountain song on repeat for like 4 hours. That would be our song while we was playing board games. And we wouldn't turn it off. We just loop it. And like it literally came to the thing where we was playing board games like, why are we playing Mystery Mountain right now?
Lurd. All right, fine. So I guess the next grouping of books, it's not somebody's favorite.
I've never read the books, so I can't really say they're bad books. I just haven't read them.
I can't. I think I'm the only one in this group that has.
Yep.
The movies weren't great.
All right, look. So it's the Dan Brown books. So the Da Vinci Code was the first movie that came out. Angels and Demons was the first Robert Langdon book, and then it went from there. Da Vinci Code was done to the book fairly well. It was actually very close to the book. So kudos to that one. I give both of those a thumbs up.
The movie gets like a 75% thumb up.
The best book in the series out of all the Robert Langdon ones is Angels and Demons. That one, fantastic. Movie, go fuck yourself.
Ooh.
I hate that book or that film.
Passionate.
No, because like the whole thing, when I went to go and see that movie, I was like, oh man, I can't wait. Ewan McGregor is like the priest or the Camerlingo.
Nah, he's Jesus,
Camerlingo?
aka Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, he is Obi-Wan.
He did have the high ground.
He did have the high grade. He did in this movie too.
And Ewan McGregor knows what to do.
He does know what to do. But the whole thing in the book was that the like scientist that dies at the very beginning was onto something, and they killed him because of it. And then like they call in Robert Langdon because they have the Illuminati burned into his chest, and they want to know who did it, who done it. And then the daughter, his adopted daughter, comes in, the scientist, and so she comes in and she's like, where's my dad? I want to see him. Oh my god, my dad's dead. And so she wants to go with Robert Langdon to go find this thing and save the world, basically. In the movie, she says, oh no, my colleague, what happened to him? It's like, why did you change it from like father and daughter to colleagues? Now it makes no sense. She's a marine biologist. He's into like space and time. Whatever. But the biggest letdown was there was an assassin. He was badass in that book. He was buff. He was of like Muslim
Did he have the
descent.
stuff?
Yes.
So he's Buff Bagwell?
Yes. Yes, he was. But like it talks about him being into women, being into hurting. Like he's a bad dude.
So you say it was the prequel to 50 Shades?
Worse. This dude was amazing. But like in the movie, he was a librarian. Super thin, glasses,
Quiet.
doing this number. He couldn't fight off any of those old dudes. Are you kidding
They
me?
gotta touch all the fetishes. Come on. It can't just
They
be
were
the
supposed
lady,
to be
sexy lady
stealing.
librarian.
They were supposed to be stealing the four, like the preferiti, which is like the preferred for Pope. Old men, all like 70 years of age, like 65 to 70. This man could not. That's
Latin.
Hippitus, hoppitus.
Deus Domine. No, the first movie, Da Vinci Code, was done so well to the book. I was super excited
Disney
about
Watch.
Angels and Demons coming out, and they botched it. So books, I will always say thumbs up to those, except for the newer ones. Those
Never
are kind of
read.
like iffy. But the movie, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, And then they had, I think, Inferno is going to be a TV show, or something's going to be a TV show. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. They suck. Anywho,
Wow.
next up, Scott Pilgrim.
Love the movie.
So good.
It was one of
And
those movies I went and saw. I was like, I mean, how good is this going to be? It's based on a stupid comic book. And it blew my mind.
It was
I
fantastic.
didn't read the comic, but I did watch the movie. I liked it.
They're very good comics, but like the movie, I really didn't know if, what is his name? Michael Cera,
George Michael.
yeah, is going to, like, if he was going to do well in that movie. Like from the very beginning, that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm in Lesbians with that movie. That's how much I love that
Yeah.
movie.
It's like, no, the other L word. Lesbians. But like the soundtrack, the people that are in it, like Chris Evans is in it, and
Yeah.
he plays an excellent like ex-boyfriend on
Yeah.
there.
Like,
He
he
was an
really
asshole.
played like...
I loved it. I loved it though.
It was, I mean, it was all great.
Yeah.
Matty Patel being a great... He was a pirate. Macaulay
Highlander?
Culkin's brother.
Highlander was in it for because he was part of the vegan squad.
What's the roommate that turned everyone gay?
The Highlander, the original Highlander.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, it wasn't.
There were those two guys that were the
Yeah,
vegans?
that's Tom Jane and the guy from Boondock Saints 2.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I will put money on this. That's Tom Jane. That is the Punisher. That is Tom Jane.
Isn't that the same person?
Yes. No.
Yes.
You're talking about the original Highlander from the Queens? There can only be one Highlander?
It's a lot older.
Completely different person.
Him?
Yeah, that's not the same guy.
Oh, bullshit.
No, that's 100% not the same guy.
Everyone knows it's butters.
My life is a lie.
So
I'm an
anyways,
idiot.
Amber doesn't know shit.
Nope, apparently not. So I have been proven
And then
wrong.
you got Captain Marvel as the lead singer for...
yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I seen that band perform live. The band
Me too.
that sing. I was like, ooh. They were
I
great.
did not know it was the same band until that was the last song that they played, and then they were like doing it. I was like, oh my god, this just got so much better.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, they were okay. Then I was like, oh, hey, I know this song.
Oh my god, it's that people. I was there for Muse. I didn't care about anybody else.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's a great movie. And first of all, Tom Jane. I don't know how you didn't know that was Tom Jane.
I've
Actually, he's in one of the better Stephen King movies, The Mist.
never
Like,
seen it.
so terrible movie, kind of. Monsters come out of the mist. The army like lets something out. They come out from another dimension. There's a mist. But like the worst ending possible. Like, it's a great ending, but terrible ending. So
Do you know the
spoilers,
ending?
I'm gonna ruin it for you.
Yeah, spoilers.
But anyways, comics are great for Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim movie. It's amazing. It's still
We are sex bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4.
oh, it's so good.
It's very good.
I'm probably gonna watch that tonight.
Oh hell yeah.
One
Absolutely.
thing when I watched it the first time, it's something I really never saw, was how they had all the overlays for like parts of the comic. Like sometimes
Yeah, and they did such a good job too,
Yeah.
like Young Neil and like the Zelda music and stuff, and then the Final Fantasy like boom, dum, 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 dum.
and just the little things like when he's peeing.
Yeah, and
Like
the P
little-
meter.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
Yep.
So good.
It's such a good movie. All
Such
those
a good
little
cast
stories.
too, like all throughout.
Yes, I love Macaulay Culkin's brother in that film. Like he is my favorite part, especially when
I
they're
can't
like,
believe you thought Christopher Lambert
"I'm
was fucking
sorry,
Tom Jane.
I didn't know. I'm sorry." Jesus. Next on the list, Jurassic Park.
Tom Jane or Christopher Lambert was not in this movie. Actually, I take it back. I think Tom Jane was in the second or the third movie.
God dang it.
Now I gotta look. Tom Jane.
I've watched Jurassic Park multiple times because that's what they go to for the whenever you're in school and they have a substitute. So
That's what you got. When I went to Clarksville High School, it was either radio or We Are Marshall. We Are Titans.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And then
Jurassic Park.
people started making fun of making radio jokes, and they stopped making us watch radio.
We had Jurassic Park or Cool Runnings.
Cool
I've
Runnings
seen
is a good
Cool
one.
Runnings so many times. It was a great film, but after like 20 times, no thank
That
you.
or League of Their Own.
No.
That was from softball for you.
Well,
So,
yeah. Every time we would go like to a away game, we would be coming back on the if we had the bus, if we were lucky enough to get the nice bus. A League of Their Own was the only thing we were allowed to watch. We also were only allowed to wear stirrups, not the socks with the stripe on them. So it was very old school.
Yeah, so Jurassic Park books,
Never read them.
they are so amazing. Like the first movie's good, and the second movie, god awful. The Lost World is a horrible movie, but that book is so night and day different than the movie, and so much better. Like
Well,
it
and-
is so good.
What are your opinions on some of the new ones with Chris Pratt and all that?
They're fucking terrible.
Like, I didn't watch any of them yet.
I haven't heard anything about the Dominion one, but I basically got told it's nothing but like an hour and 45 minutes of just fanfare. It's like, oh, here's something from the first movie. Here's something from the second movie. Here's something from this movie. Here's all the people that you liked from the movies. All right, movie's over, guys.
Yeah,
Here's a
that's
T-Rex.
it.
Find another T-Rex. Ooh. Oh, the T-Rex is gonna team up with the Velociraptors to beat the other dinosaur up. Oh my god. Fucking dumb shit.
No,
But-
when
Sounds like
I
my
watched
Dan
the
Brown.
first one, it obviously when it first came out, but probably like 2000 or 2001, I would say when I watched it. I was still pretty young, and I really liked the first one because it was actually a scary movie for me. It wasn't a horror movie or anything, but just a slow creeping terror whenever the
Right.
T-Rex came in with the rain and everything. Even one thing that scared me to death was the little cappies or whatever, the little tiny guys that ate the guy, and I was like, wait a minute, how did they kill him? And it's just like that stuff as a kid was actually exciting to me. It wasn't like a horror movie, but it was that thriller
It
suspense
was a
kind
horror
of.
movie to me because I always had a nightmare that a T-Rex was going to come through my window in my parents' house and like kill me while swimming in the pool next
But instead it
door.
was bees.
No, instead bees are the things that
No,
destroy
I mean,
me.
I don't know, Michael Crichton writes great books, and those are some awesome books. Like, hands down, if you even just remotely like Jurassic Park, read the books. They're great. Now, where they did fuck up was, like I said, Lost World and so on. Like, Lost World was a terrible.
Books or the movies?
Movies.
Okay, yeah.
The third movie was a lot better than the second movie. And then you bring in Chris Pratt movies. And I lost it as soon as I saw Chris Pratt like ride a motorcycle next to the Velociraptor. I was like, what the fuck? And then the second movie, you had like the Velociraptor like jumping like through like rooms where like explosions were happening, so it just looked like it was Secret Agent Raptor. So it was like Secret Agent Velociraptor. And nope, I just like I'm done. I can't do it.
Which movie was it? I don't remember. I did see another one after the first. I remember a scene where there's the pterodactyls, like they had a big part. They were like running around in these like really rusted old like catwalks and stuff, and one of the pterodactyls takes the kid.
Was that one
That's
of the newer ones?
probably Lost World, because the kid gets lost in Jurassic Park, and they hired these people to go get him. It's got Vince Vaughn in it.
No, this one was like, I think the island was abandoned, and they went back with the ship, or like the boat and everything.
So the second one was like the Lost World, like the kid gets left on the island.
Okay.
So like the kid, they weren't supposed to be there, so they go and like make a rescue mission. They get
Was that
Jeff
2 or 3?
Goldblum. I think that's 2. That's the thing. It's Lost World, and the third one, can't remember what the third one's called for whatever the fuck reason.
I got to see like half of that one, and I thought it was interesting when I saw it, but
Yeah.
I didn't get to see what the story was.
That one's got Vince Vaughn in it, and it's just weird.
That's right. He was in that.
Yeah, he was like a other guy.
Yeah. So, books, movies.
First one I liked, but that's the only one I really
Original
saw.
movies. Like even the like I'll throw Lost World in there, though it sucked, but the first 3 movies good. Everything after that,
Sorry, Chris Pratt.
yeah, I like Chris Pratt too. That's no.
So, next on the list, Hunger Games.
Great books, horrible movies. Should have been all
I-
2-part movies.
I think I read the books first just because I knew the movie was coming out. They were okay.
Yeah, I kind of didn't understand most of the politics in the very first part of the book until like stuff started happening when she was in the game.
So Trump and Hillary started running, and you're like, oh shit, we're getting ready to happen.
Oh, here we go. Hunger Games are real. No, I did enjoy the books. I will
I
say
really
that
read
you
the
had
first.
you were attached to the characters a lot
They
more.
did such a better job of building, and like that's why I hated that. Like, so
when I first read the first book, I actually liked the dynamic between. Was it a sister? The
yeah,
two
so
sisters.
You have her and her sister,
Yeah.
and she volunteers as tribute, so her sister doesn't have to
Yeah.
go in. And it's such a big deal about how much she loves her sister, how much she's protecting her sister, that the other character, Rue, becomes her sister while training, going through the Hunger Games. And they make it such a good like story, character arc building in the books. It's so good.
And doesn't she
Then
die?
she gets smoked out in front of her.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's a
I
huge
remember
deal.
that.
You're like, oh my god, no!
Yeah.
And the books are like, hey, this is a little black girl. Her name's Rue. Oh, she's dead. Let's move on. Let's keep killing people. I was like, what the f-? Like, this is the biggest part of the whole movie. And you're just like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, and then from there on, I was ruined.
Yeah. I didn't watch the movie, so I couldn't compare it. But when I did read the first book, it's kind of fuzzy now because it's been a long. I read it about when it came out. But
2008.
yeah, it's been a while. But I really liked that book. I don't remember how it ended though. I just kind of got fuzzy at the ending of it. I think
Like the Hunger Games.
the book, the first one.
She wins.
Yeah,
And then
but
that's about it.
Okay.
They move her and her family to the Winter's Village.
Oh, okay, yeah, they changed the location.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second book, they go to the Sand Island and redo the whole Hunger Games all over
Yeah.
again. And it just, and then they start a whole rebellion. And
Yep.
I don't know. Like it was, I like the books a lot. Even like the new like prequel book for President Snow, like it was pretty good. I don't know. Like they did such a good job with that book, and it was character building book. It made you
Very
feel
much
for
so.
all those characters so well, and then they
Movie
just
really
screwed
didn't
it
do
up.
squat for that.
Yeah,
So
if they would have done 2, I really do. That's one of those ones I feel like they would have just done 2 movies for the first. Like they did the second or the third movie as 2 movies, but if they would have just done Hunger Games Part 1 and 2 and did each movie as Part 1 and 2, there was enough in each one of those movies. Like you could have done from the moment she got ready to go into the games as one movie and build all that up really well. And you could have had that how much she loved her sister, how much that was in there. Get to the games and you can see how much her and Rue was like her sister, and then get in the games and have that be the whole second movie is the games, and you could really play on that and had such a good job, and they did a terrible
Well,
job.
and it
of
sounds like a lot of these well, about half of these probably, the bad ones we don't like. If they would have given more time or 2 movies for a book type of thing, it would have been better.
I think Hunger Games, they knew it was going to be a big deal
What?
because the books were so big.
I just realized the note at the very bottom. I put seems like young authors' books are the bad ones, and I'm assuming you put you shut your mouth.
Yeah. But I think like they knew Hunger Games was going to do. The books were big, but they didn't know if the movie was going to do well enough or not, especially
Yeah.
with fucking
Jennifer Lawrence.
yeah, Jennifer Lawrence being like her first big movie. But then it did good, so they're like, okay, we spend time on the second and third movies or the books.
And
they
I don't
did.
mind Jennifer Lawrence at all, but she didn't seem
She
to have the
ugly cries
most.
like nobody's business. Her ugly cry is
Yeah.
top notch.
She also likes to eat. She mentions that a lot.
Yeah, she's from Louisville.
That's true. I mean,
That's
we
all
all
we got to do around here.
we eat. It's
We
true.
eat and drink.
Drink and eat.
Love you, Jennifer.
But books, great. Movie,
Yeah, I agree. All right. Have either of you two read the next one?
yeah.
Okay.
I have not.
Interview with the Vampire. Well, you probably weren't
It's
allowed
been a
to.
long time.
Yeah, it's same for me. But Interview with the Vampire is the next one on the list.
Still one of my favorite movies of all time.
1976 is when that book came out.
I was negative 10 years old.
I was a negative 12
My
years
mom was
old.
3.
Yeah.
The movie came out in 1994, so it took a while for that one to come out as a movie.
Can we also talk very briefly about
No,
like
we
the
cannot talk
90s?
about the sequel. We
No.
will not bring that up. Queen of the Damned does not exist. Shut your whore mouth.
I'm not talking about the books. I'm talking about like the 90s were the start of infatuation.
Time out. I'm gonna be that person. I love Queen of the Damned. Not the. If you separate the book and the movie and make them their own little separate thing, they were both good in their equal rights.
No. How are you going to go from Tom Cruise to that guy?
I agree. Dorian
How?
Gray. I agree. The soundtrack was phenomenal.
You just like because Aaliyah's brother had to fill in for her voice because she died in a plane crash.
No. I thought that was a weird choice for that character. I love the soundtrack. It had Korn. It had Disturbed. It had
Yeah, so did every other movie in that
Deftones.
time.
Okay, well, either way, yes, that's why I said timeout, because I'm going to say something like really controversial.
There's
I liked
parts
it.
of that movie that I do enjoy.
I did not.
I just don't like how why can't Lestat? I just don't like how they changed like his character so much. Like,
Oh, I agree. I just like that the Eighth Doctor was in it as like the librarian guy, and whenever he finds out that the girl is now like a part of that world, he's just like, Sarah, no, and that's it. It was like, okay, bye. But I thought it was good.
But anyways, back to the good one, Interview with the Vampire. By far, like one of the best vampire movies of all time.
Yes.
Like, it's such a good way of doing it. Like, fucking Tom Cruise is great. Brad Pitt's awesome. Christina Ricci's not Christina Ricci. What's her? Kristen Dunst is
Yes,
awesome.
Kristen Dunst.
Um,
She did an excellent job of playing a kid and growing up as a vampire, being like 200-something years old, being an adult.
yeah,
Phenomenal job.
such a good movie. And like, Brad Pitt's character killing all the vampires, you know, killing Antonio Banderas and all the other ones and stuff was just
Now, not me personally, but there are a lot of people that said they did not like Tom Cruise as Lestat because in the book he is not that, like, he's ruthless, but
Yep.
he's not that, like a spoiled child angry.
He's a little more unhinged and uncontrolled, I think, in the movie.
I don't think he is. If you really think about it, he really is still kind of like a spoiled kid.
Yes, I agree 100%. Apparently, they're doing an interview with the vampire. We talked about that in our Comic-Con one. But they're going to be doing a TV show for Interview with the Vampire, and they're going to be focusing more on Louis and like how he became a vampire. But like Lestat, it seems like so far in that one, it's more so on the relationship of them. Just like he gets jealous of Louis doing other
Being
things
awesome?
with other people. Yeah. But like in the movie with Tom Cruise, like there was no jealousy. It was you do what I tell you to do or else.
No, I mean, a little bit. I think there's still some jealousy too, because, you know, he would start killing people that like Lestat liked, like, you know, the whole plantation and stuff. Like, it was a little bit of both. Like, you know, Louis had a good thing going in the plantation, then Lestat showed up, and then people started dying. And, you know, all the people on the plantation started. Then they're like, all right, we don't want this no more. They're the devil and all that stuff. And like, he really kind of ruined Louis' like stuff he had going on every single time he had, because it wasn't Lestat main feature. So like, I don't know. I really like it. It's phenomenal book, phenomenal movie.
100%. I really like the movie, like the way that they did the book. I don't know how we'll get the newest one. We'll see how that goes when it comes out, but we'll see. The next one is going to be more so on you. Have you read Ready Player One?
I never had. I did watch.
Ready Player One is next on the list. I've never read it. I didn't see the movie either. So
Great movie or great book.
Movie was over fantasized, I think, a little bit.
No, so the problem with the movie is they couldn't get the
one that had
rights.
Tomb
to-
Raider,
Huh?
and everything in.
Well, yeah, it had like a lot of games.
Yeah,
that,
like they
every
had like a couple
world.
of things in the movie that people were like, "Oh my god!"
So, the book's really great. The only problem I have with the book, same problem I have with the second book too, is there's a period where it's boring, and then not much is happening. Like there's a part where like he goes, basically Columbus, Ohio is the network hub of the world. Basically, it's where the best internet's at. You can get the highest speed internet to be.
Bullshit, Ready Player One, but go on.
But that's where like you're gonna be able to get the best access to the Oasis. So at one point he literally moves there, and his whole life is on the Oasis. So he shaves all his hair off. He buys like a haptic suit and stuff where you can feel everything. Like he lives in the Oasis for a long period of time to be able to find all the Easter eggs. But the book saw like the way all the trials are cool, all the flashbacks and all the throwbacks to the 80s stuff. They do a really good job with it in the book. The movie did the best they could because they couldn't get the rights to everything that they had in the book. So like the first like trial of the book is them playing joust against death, and it's a really cool way how he beats them and goes through it and figures it out. And the first movie was like a race, you gotta run it backwards. So but they couldn't get the rights to it. So I mean, the movie was good. It wasn't great. The book's awesome. The second book,
The only thing I didn't like in Ready Player One was kind of like the end fight was just didn't make a lot of sense. It was very chaotic and all that. I mean, it's all point, but just I started losing interest as the longer the movie went on. But I didn't.
they
know
did
the
a lot of
story.
fanfare in that last fight in the movie. They had, Overwatch, they had
Yep.
Freddy, they had, Back to the Future. They literally had, you name it, it was in that movie.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, but it's,
Oh yeah, the movie came out in 2018.
yeah.
Yeah, not that long ago.
So that's one of the things that's really cool in the book too, is like he really does do a call of arms. Like either this company's going to come out and literally ruin this and make it the worst possible thing ever. Basically, it's going to make it a mobile video game where there's
Yeah.
ads every 3 seconds. Or we can have this and fight for it and make it free. And he literally calls everyone on the Oasis, and it's a huge battle. It's really awesome.
It is cool.
Great book. I love it. But
Like I said, I just started losing interest as the movie went on, but it was still
the movie doesn't.
The lights were like the effects were amazing. What
Yeah.
you saw was amazing, but there just wasn't much story after a while.
So it's really worth reading. If you want to read it, I'll give you the book because I threw it in one of our plays.
Well,
Chucked it.
especially since it's like not in theaters or anything. I think it was still a really fun movie to watch, especially if you can get it pretty cheap.
Yeah,
It's fun.
If you go into that movie after you read the book, realizing that they legally couldn't do what the book had in it, and you realize it's going to be not as great, you're good. It's a solid movie on that point.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's understandable.
if they could get the licensing, the actual be able to do the stuff in the book, it would have been so much better.
Alright.
It kind of reminded me not exactly, but just like a Tron Legacy type of thing, which I love.
First of all,
Legacy.
don't even dare talk bad about Tron if you was getting ready.
Oh
to.
no! I love
Tron
Tron.
is
will
one of the most
stab you in the face.
underrated
It's-
movies of
They-
all
It's
time.
one of my favorites.
They were gonna do a third one, and people made fun of the second and first movie. And they're like, not gonna do it no more. I'm like,
Y'all screwed
I
up.
will say they can't get Daft Punk again, so it won't be
Why
as
can't
fun.
they?
They might, but
I'm
they're
pretty sure that
retirement.
Disney
It's
can do
Disney.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Disney's like, how much you want?
It's like, we're
We'll
gonna
make
need
you a
like-
park. We'll make you Daft Punk land.
Oh my god! I would go to that all day long.
I don't know if I can handle it.
I want to go on the brainwasher.
Just around the
God.
world. That's
Oh,
Around
my
the
when you do
God.
the trip around Epcot and you go around the world. That's all you hear. Just around the world. He's like, I just want to drink more beer.
All
So
right.
yeah, book's great. Huge thumb up. Movie. If you go in it knowing that it's not gonna be the book, huge thumbs up.
Second to last one we have on the list.
I read this probably back in 2002 and haven't read any more of the
I've
books.
read all the books.
Aragon.
They're fucking long too.
Apparently
Movie
they're going to
god-awful.
be redoing it. So
Thank God, because even though I love Jeremy Irons, horrible movie.
Accuracy of it, the parts that they talked about were semi-accurate. Like they did kind of try to follow the book.
Jeremy Irons is in that movie.
Oh no, I was looking up Disney Plus is doing Aragon.
Yeah.
So TV series.
The parts in the book were kind of accurate, but the Razak were portrayed wrong as compared to the book. The main bad guy was definitely not as scary, and
Yeah, he's Jeremy Irons. No matter how scary he is, he's awesome.
The main bad guy, but what's his name?
Jeremy Irons is the bad guy, regardless of how small or big he is. He's the main bad guy.
But what is the bad guy's name? I actually like him. He's a great actor. He's been in a ton of movies.
I'm pretty positive Jeremy Irons is the main bad guy.
No, Jeremy Irons was the ally.
Was he?
The guy that trained Aragorn or Aragorn. Ah, shit.
It's the same guy that did the movies who's gonna be doing the Disney Plus show.
Well, that means it's gonna suck ass.
Christopher Paolini.
Well, that's the author. The author of the book.
Well,
Yeah,
cool.
duh, Amber. Jeez.
I've never read them.
Well, as far as the books go,
John Malkovich.
yeah, I love him. He was actually he's a great actor, but in the book he is holy shit terrifying compared to what he is in the movies, and the ending was completely different. So I didn't like the accuracy whatsoever. But books were cool. It had a terrible ending though. There was a ton of like unresolved story plot holes and stuff and lines of the story that never got resolved.
Plot holes.
Yeah, like tons of stuff that were left like unsaid at the end, because there was a guy riding a red dragon that was kind of like the opposite version of him. Essentially, used to be his best friend, and the main bad guy corrupted him and made him fight for him, and he didn't have a choice because that main bad guy's magic was, if you could do magic, he could turn you to work for him no matter what. So I mean, it was a terrifying bad guy, but in that last book, he spared the main character, but said next time we meet, he's going to torment me so much I can't say no to kill you next time. And it's like, oh, there's going to be a great fight now. They never fought. Ever. The entire rest of the story
it's like
never
the
came up.
X.
It's like,
It makes
what?
me not want, because I just got bought all the books because I was like, I really enjoyed the first book, and I want to read the rest. Now you make me seem like I don't want to read the rest.
It's great until the red book. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head.
Because there's it's like blue, green, black, and red.
No,
Or is
it was blue. Yeah, blue, green,
The black one's the last one.
red, gold, and then I think black. Because there's a gold book. No, it's okay. Blue, gold, red, green. Inheritance actually wasn't too bad either. I forgot that wasn't that bad, but Eldest that was probably it's when it started going downhill. But the first 3 books are good. I would read them again.
Yeah.
So, as far as books go, I think they did great. It had just a really let down ending. And Christopher Paolini said that he was either running short on time or ideas. I can't remember exactly, but he did.
Get us all.
He did understand that it didn't end exactly like fans wanted, because he thought about doing something else with it. He just hasn't yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. So
Hopefully, if they do the story when show form, they can readjust the ending, and it might be great. So.
And last but not least on our list, there are so many more books to movies.
Yeah.
But these were the ones that we knew that we could have a lot to talk about, because there are many other young author ones. I don't care what you put on here.
Percy Jackson.
Most of the books to movies that are young authors are garbage.
Percy Jackson was a great book. I love that one.
Yeah.
So,
But this is not the book we're talking about.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
So,
The book-
yes, Amber. The main character in this one is the main character from The Hobbit too. Just gonna let you know that is Bilbo.
I knew it. So the book came out in 1979. Movie came out in 2005 and had the great Alan Rickman in it.
Alan Rickman.
So, and he's probably my favorite character in
No.
the movie.
He's good. The guy with the head that pops up.
Yeah.
That actor alone is one of my favorite actors of all time.
That's true. He does excellent.
He's great in that movie. He's great in Iron Man 2. He's great in Charlie's Angels.
Oh my God, that's right.
He's so good. The fact that he got 6 spray tans in one day for Iron Man to show up on set to be super spray tan, because he's like,
You
that's
are
what
dedicated,
someone who's,
my friend.
he's like, that's what someone who's trying to be Tony Stark would do, is go get spray tan so much. Then you can actually see in his hands that his hands are all orange and nasty from all the spray tan he had. I'm like, I love it.
Dude's gonna have a skin cancer one day.
No, it's fake. It's all right.
It makes you orange.
I know. It's gonna
So,
be bad for you.
I really, really I read the book
Yeah, Sam Rockwell.
way back in the day, in high school. But I watched the movie when it came out because one of my buddies in high school was really into the book, and I friggin' love that movie. so
The whale
much.
thing is just hilarious.
So long and thanks for all the fish. We're sad that it has come to this.
Splat.
We tried to warn you all, but okay.
And I still use the 42 answer on everything. If I don't know the answer, like 42.
42.
If it was like, what are you talking about? I was like, never mind.
It's an answer to
The universe.
The universe and everything. Yep, life, the universe, and everything.
So that's one of the books that like I have told my kid Riley. I was like, "You're reading this book." He's like, "Well, if I don't want to," I was like, "Trust me, you'll read it, and you're like,
You will like it."
Thank Jesus, I read this book. It is so good, and the movie is awesome. The movie's not nearly as good as the book because to have all the stuff in the books in the movie is hard, but it's so good.
It is so good. It's like I love the robot that's played by Alan Rickman, who's like Eeyore, super depressed all the time. I love his friend who always has a towel. Of course,
Yeah.
Martin Freeman is like the main guy in there. In his
not
world the
Morgan
entire
Freeman.
time. Not Morgan. Martin.
Not Martin Sheen.
Like Sherlock.
Oh, that would
like
have been
Watson.
so great if Morgan Freeman was the main character.
Why do I need to bring a towel? I don't understand. But no, that movie was fantastic. It's very British humor to it, but it's a lot of people don't like British humor because they think it's dry and everything like that. It's a really good movie. I forget the name of the alien race, but the ones that you have to actually do all the paperwork to do anything in the universe. Like, it's like, try listening to their poetry. It's phenomenal. So I give both the book and the movie a thumbs up on
You
that.
know, it's got Davy Jones in there.
Oh my god, that's right. Bill Nighy.
Yep.
What was that? If you ever watch a Bill Nighy film, there's always going to be the one word that you have no idea what he's saying, but he says it. So like in Pirates of the Caribbean, when the guy says like, I will serve, even if you put subtitles on, it like even Disney is
Just
like
has squid
question mark.
noises.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, because he goes, yeah, yeah. And they're like, squid noises.
Is this that by far still my favorite movie that he's ever been is Shaun of the Dead?
You've got red on you. I don't know. I liked him in Love Actually too, though, because he's that washed up like musician.
Yeah.
Who his only friend is his like guy that's with him, like his editor and everything. I think it's a great.
Ooh, since I
He's great.
brought Shaun of the Dead up, can we have a zombie movie?
A good one.
Halloween's coming up. So
Last good zombie movie that I watched and enjoyed was the original Zombieland. That was
I thought that was excellent when I went to go see it in the theater.
I mean, since then, I mean, we've had like World War Z and stuff like that, but it's like, I haven't seen any good zombie movies for a while that I know of.
We should
trying
also
to think.
play some
Anything
zombie
since then?
film.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. There was one I was thinking of the other day. It's not really a zombie movie, but it is. It's rabies.
You know what is going to be coming out that's kind of like zombies, but not really. It's a fungus. It's going to be The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah,
If-
they're clickers.
Based off of a real
I hope
mold.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I mean,
It has a
looks so
potential
far.
because it's one of the better games out there, but you know
That's another video
that's
game to
also
movie adaptation.
that's also a big
But-
chance to fail.
So, that is our books to movie list here. So, for
I
the
like how
most
we
part,
always end it with like every episode we go into like a tangent of something
it's
we're like.
true. We get excited
We're gonna
about
reel
everything.
us in.
It's exciting stuff. So, anywho, that is our list of like books to movie adaptations. For the most part, they're all pretty good. Twilight, no, and Dan
She's an
Brown,
idiot,
no.
y'all. Actually, no. There's one that we kind of didn't mention that I don't really know if it falls into book to movie because they're terrible movies. But any of the D&D movies, they're technically books to movies, right?
Or does he call it a game? I don't know. Is it technically a game or a book? Because it's
We've
both.
done both lists, so guess what? D&D now on the
Hey.
list. It sucks. Sorry.
game- Game's
The
fine,
newest
book's
one
not.
might be good
The newest one looks
because
good.
Chris Pine can bite a wall how flat his face is.
It's a Chris Pine. It's a Chris Pine. So now that we're on the subject, I still think that they're doing Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I don't think they are.
Well, you have the Harpers, which is a big feature in Horde of the Dragon Queen. You've got the Horn, which looks like the Drakhorn from Horde of the Dragon Queen.
The horn.
Yes, the Horn. You've got the Red Wizards of Thay, which were the like people inside of the Horde of the Dragon Queen. So you
Weren't
got a
they-
lot of Horde of the Dragon
Weren't
Queen.
they the main component for trying to bring back Tiamat?
So there was one in particular, Red Wizard of
One,
Thay, that
yeah.
was working with them, but you had to go there to talk to them about that guy. So I mean, like, there's a lot of Red Wizards in there. Either way,
Wizard.
Either way, she just really likes seeing an owlbear in person.
No, I don't. Owlbears can.
That's the shirt we need to make. Is have you getting attacked by an owlbear
No,
that's invisible.
I don't like that.
Just like have a like little stick figure character like thing, crouching and then like owlbear
No,
noises.
her little amber face that she makes all the time, getting just mauled by an owlbear.
I don't think you all have seen that yet. I'll make
Chippy
sure
face.
to put that on the.
Yeah, just put it like right here. Just cover your face with it, and then right at the moment, just.
Just my face, not the actual like chibi face. No. I think the new D&D movie is gonna be good. The Duke from Bridgerton is in it, therefore, I think it's gonna be great.
Every
So-
girl. Wrapping up.
Oh, sorry.
We keep getting on a tangent.
Die Hard is beautiful.
Oh shit!
Oh, and our co-host just died.
I'm gonna die, guys.
No, not
bring-
before
I'll
we
bring
do our
flowers.
next one shot.
Can I have your orange juice?
Yes.
No. So, you'll need to keep an eye out for the one shot. We're gonna try and do that like the first week or second week of September.
And what's the one shot gonna be on?
Don't know what this actual story is going to be because that's going to be all Alex. But we have 5 really cool characters for it. I've already chosen the one that I'm going to play because there will be no other that plays her. But we've got 4 really cool ones. One that is left over from the other one we did because nobody wanted to play him. But by God, someone's going to play him. One of y'all.
And the one we're doing with Mash Allen, which one's that again?
That one is going to be Spelljam.
Spelljammer!
Which should be out by the time this comes out. So go take a look at that one. We got a lot of cool stuff on there. Master Allen, of course, is going to be really cool to be with.
If I bring a guitar and just like fake play guitar riffs,
I mean, I have a bunch upstairs.
Just get a
so
Guitar
we'll just
Hero
grab
one like off of eBay. It's even better.
I got one at home. I got like 6 of them.
Oh, God. No. Anywho, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Definitely keep an eye out. Like, we have got a ton of stuff that we've got planned for the rest of this year.
Also, please like and share our shit, please, because we want more than 18 people subscribe to our channel. So
So,
Please
we're going
push
to
and
do the
push that
Destiny
Like,
thing.
comment, and subscribe.
We're going to do the Destiny thing. Like, comment, and subscribe. Second video in a row.
The way you did it.
Well,
You were like announcer voice. You're like,
no,
like,
I did
comment,
it.
and
I did it like Game
I
Grumps.
can do it in Trip Club voice, like, all right, ladies and gentlemen,
Like,
make sure you like, subscribe, and share our channel. This is Nerding Out.
Oh, I feel dirty. Do we need
Next on stage, Anastasia.
Anywho, yes, please share our stuff out there. It's like we definitely like we love doing this, and we want you all to see it, and we want more people to experience it. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Farewell.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Might as well do the Markiplier thing. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.